Well, happy Facebook Friday, 2 hours later. I hope you're all having a great week. Today just ran away with itself, and I will be completely honest. I was coming out of the post office and I went, oh shit, I never did Facebook Friday today. It's on the schedule, but it just didn't happen. So we're calling this Funny Facebook Friday because when I do something like that, my old pattern may have been to grab the billy club, beat myself up over the head with it, and just be not really supportive to myself in that. And now I tend to laugh as long as nobody else got hurt, and just roll with it. So I literally stopped the car. I probably look like a little bit of a nut job talking to myself into the phone, but I don't care about that either. So the irony of all of this and the divine humor of the universe is that I had completely intended to ask you, how do you feel supported in the universe, and how do you offer support, and are you able to ask for support? Thank you, Sarah. I like my hair too. The lovely Tracy at Indulgence did it yesterday. And that's where I get my support too, because every 4 weeks this mop needs to be done. So it's things like that I'm just wondering, do you ever ask? Sometimes I think when you're scrolling through Facebook, you can see where people are looking for an award to have the most put upon energy, or volunteers, not necessarily a victim. They're playing the victim, but they're volunteering for their situation. And I wonder if they just never, do they not know that they can ask for support? So for this week's challenge, I guess, is to look where at your own life and see where it is that you could use some help. For me, just asking for help to move something, or to hang pictures in my office, or along my own journey of healing, has been incredibly challenging. I'm very, very willing to be the one who offers help, but in the receiving category, it can feel a little bit scary, because what if they say no? Well, one of the things that I've learned is they're going to, and more people have said no to me than yes, but that's okay, because then you start to realize, well, where are the like energies in my life, and who is here to support when I need that reciprocating help? And I bet you've all been through that, because it's human nature. It gets a little unbalanced at times. For instance, today, if I had an assistant and I allowed myself to go through that process again of interviewing, so hey, if you're interested, shoot me an email. I perhaps would have had someone to remind me that I was running behind on time and needed to get my Facebook post out. So whether that support is in humans or in the divine energy, I call on the angels a lot. I ask my guides if they can, like we talked about last week, if they can, shoot me a little bit of extra energy to remember to get on and do a post. Is it the massage therapist or the acupuncturist who helps your body stay in alignment, or the chiropractor? Whatever these modalities are, my arm's getting tired because one of the helps I have in my life is health coach Kelly Tinsley, and we did a workout last night. I can't hold my arms up. So that type of support too. Where are your trainers? Where are your coaches? Your mentors? Are you a mentor? Will you step out into your community and be that person for someone else? A lot of the times I find people get so wrapped up, myself included, in our own story and our process, that we forget being of service feels really good. There's a difference, at least in my book, of being of service or in service. So of service is when you are genuinely wanting to help someone, and you want to be in that place of the hand up, and to offer, whatever you have to offer in that situation. The in-service is usually where you hear some, martyrdom happening, that, oh, I'd like to go out, but I have to make sure my adult children are taken care of. Yeah, that one needs to stop, because if the word is adult, they need to be taken care of themselves. So unless, of course, there's health circumstances going on there. But more often than not, no, it's just someone who has learned how to be in service and who is essentially giving away a lot of their energy. It's supportive to then put some boundaries down and say, maybe I'm not available every week for you, and you have to raise your own kids because I've already raised you, whatever the situation is there. So the support can be through readings, through books, through listening, Audible, through podcasts. There was quite a bit of time where Hay House Radio saved my sanity, because I just didn't know where my community was and where that support would be, until I realized I had to create that community, and then got that loud and clear. So, ask yourself, are you the one who is always offering to do something for someone, and then when they offer back, you just say, oh no, that's okay, don't worry about it, I got it. As much as it feels good to be of service, don't you think it would be nice for someone else to feel that of service towards you? I just had an amazing session with a 15-year-old who I think is probably 140 years old in there, because she's just so amazingly mature. And we were talking about how she could create the support network around her when it's difficult at that age, when you're so much more mature than most of your peer group, yet you still want to be that giggly, teenager who's having a lot of fun. And I just don't think that changes over our lifetime. I think that is very applicable, because that's where she is right now. But then I was thinking about it myself. I don't want to be serious all the time. I need those goofball friends and the community that shows up for these Facebook Fridays, and where we can have discussions, but they don't all have to be heavy. So one of the support things that I offered up were oracle cards. And I showed her how to pull some cards for herself. She's natural, of course. And that's another area that you can use, are the divination tools. Like, are you maybe asking other people too much for your answers, for your direction, and not checking in with your own personal support system? And so something to offer up there for you. As I move forward with my business, I'm creating more and more of a community where we'll be offering that type of space where people can come together for like-minded discussions, classes, and then, yes, venturing out into the online classes. So I hope that you're having a good Friday, and if you're running a couple hours behind, it's all good. Just stinking laugh about it, all right? Don't get too serious about these things. There's a great Rotary auction tomorrow night at the Crown Plaza that I will be attending, and hopefully you will too, to show up to support fundraising for universally accessible playgrounds, and I can't remember what the other things were, but I donated to it, so I'm going to show up and be in the community to show my support for that. I'd like to give a shout out to my Cuba, who, well, he was more than my Cuba, he was everybody's Cuba, who transitioned 2 years ago. I miss you, tinfoil head. And giving yourself that check-in this week around support. So be it, ask for it, don't be afraid to seem vulnerable or weak, and be open to the messages that will come in. I was going to wrap it up, but this is kind of fun. I was driving home last night, and I only have a 5-mile commute, and that time of night it was 8 o'clock. So take me, what, 15 minutes to get across Pittsfield? And within that time frame, 3 songs showed up. 2 were from our wedding, and then 1 that was an inside joke that, no, I'm not going to tell you, between Howard and I, all within that time span. And then when I pulled in my driveway, it was 8/18, which is our wedding anniversary. Now that, to me, was a sign of support as well. And that support can come in from the non-physical too. Talking about Cuba reminded me of that. So use whatever mechanism and be open to whatever mechanism can help you create your own tribe. Your vibe attracts your tribe. So the type of person you are being is the type of person you will attract, and the type of group that you will attract. So I wish you all the best weekend. Still some openings for the vision board class, and a few openings for the intuitive development class that starts in February. Oh, and then Realms class is on the menu. I'm a little hungry. On the agenda for March, and that's the one where we go through and I help you to figure out how you're connecting with the universal support that's around you. So I am always so grateful for your support and your kind messages and allowing me to be on your phones and in your technology for these Fridays. Please shoot any messages, any questions, anything you would like me to address. I'm happy to, and I'm also really happy to have topics, because sometimes coming up with them, my brain gets a little stuck. So I will see you next Friday, if not sooner, and many blessings. Bye.